Hello there, and welcome back to our 31 days with 31 calming tips to help you remain calm through October and beyond. I'm your host, Karin Del Maestro, your health and calmness coach. And my intention throughout this series and beyond, much like the series goes on beyond, is to help you find calmness, a kind inner voice, and to start treating yourself the way that you would treat others. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive in with today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about connecting to nature. Now, why is this even important, right? You may have heard of this before. Well, and I want you to know that you can connect to nature even if you live in the most urban environment. So no matter where you are, this is something that you can do. Why is it important? Well, connecting to nature has been shown, there's been many, many studies shown that it can help you improve your sleep, help reduce stress, increase our overall happiness by also decreasing depression, which I know is something that so many of us struggle with after breast cancer, especially, but in life, let's be real. It can help reduce negative emotions, promote positive interactions with other people, and even help generate a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning to life. Those are some pretty big reasons for us to be connecting to nature. And that's just one of our calmness tips as we go through this month. Pretty cool, right? So why, right? Why does this have such an impact? Well, it's because spending time in nature has been shown to lower our cortisol levels. Cortisol, for those of you that don't know, is our stress hormone. And for many of us, that stress hormone has been working on overtime, right? And I invite you to think about 12 to 48 months prior to being diagnosed with breast cancer, if you've heard those spine-chilling words. Did you go through a massively stressful time? I know I did. And so I invite you, especially if stress has been a huge part of your life, trauma, stress, grief, loss, massive change, feeling like you're always starting over. Those things can cause our stress hormone, cortisol, to go completely wacky, right? And so this one tip alone, as with all of these other tips, but this one especially, I find extraordinarily powerful at helping to get our cortisol levels, back in check a little bit. Okay, so the first thing to do is to notice, how often are you feeling stressed? Are you spending time in nature consciously? You might be spending time in nature and you're not even aware that you're in nature. You're just going, you're just doing what you've always done. I'm going to invite you to really take a look at your actions, right? Really be aware here. Now, one of the things that I've always done wherever I have lived, and I've moved around a lot, and especially 7 times in the past 8 years, but something that I've always done, and I found it extraordinarily helpful, is I've always found, I call it my spot. My spot. Now, my spot for me looks like somewhere near water. There's been times that it's been a stunning spot surrounded by trees and a lake and the breeze and birds and fish and all of those things. There's been times where it's been for me sitting on a rocky beach next to the Caribbean Ocean looking out. But there's also been times for me where it's been literally an old park bench in a local park and just trying to find a quieter spot that's a little bit more removed. But my spot for me has always been near water. I recognized that about myself a long time ago. When I am next to water, I feel better. I feel more grounded. I feel calmer. I feel more connected to lost loved ones. I say that nature is my church. It's truly where I feel more connected than any other place is when I am by a natural source of water. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to swim. I love to be in a pool, but it's a different feeling that I get when I'm by a natural source of water. So I invite you to think about where might that spot be for you? Do you love to be in the trees? Do you love to be on the hill? Is it snow for you? Is it a beach? What is it for you that makes you feel most connected? There's no right or wrong here. But I'm going to ask you to truly think about it. Maybe you've been on vacations at certain times and you've just realized that you've got a sense of feeling in this vacation where you felt calmer than most others. Maybe that's something that's close to your spot. Think about where in your life you have felt good when you've been outside. And it doesn't mean that you have to be active. It doesn't mean that you need to necessarily. Now, for me, when I go to my spot, I'm sitting. I'm not moving. I'm not walking. I'm not running. I'm not biking. I'm not swimming. I'm sitting or standing. I am breathing. I am focusing on what's around me. I'm letting Mother Nature wrap me up in the biggest hug ever. Because I know that that helps me feel calmer. And I will accept and receive that feeling from the universe. That spot can even be in your backyard. If you have a seat out there and you get to sit and maybe watch a bird feeder, or maybe you've got a water fountain, maybe it's the smell of freshly cut grass. What is it for you? What is it for you? Think about this. So, and here's the thing. What I have practiced, and I'm going back, I can't even remember how long. It's probably been 20 to 30 years that I've been practicing this one thing. And it started, I think, years ago when I was seeing a therapist for some relationship things that were going on. And I remember feeling that after our session, I just needed a transition time before I remember going home. And so I would go to a local area and I would find a spot by the lake and I'd sit. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 30 minutes, but I would just sit and be and not feel the need to think about anything or do anything. It's just that release, that letting go, that surrendering, and letting your body come back into homeostasis, like where we want to be, our happy place. And this is the power of connecting to nature. So, yes, it's about better sleep. Yes, it's about lowering our hormone levels. Really important physical and health benefits. But it's also about basically just feeling good. And you deserve that, right? You deserve that. And so think about it, right? Your calming action of the day is to think about, and you might have to try a couple of spots on for size until you find the right one for you. That's okay. There is no right or wrong. I even find a spot, by the way, if I'm traveling. I will. I'll find a spot. Even at Disney World, I have found a spot in our resort and I will find a specific bench by a specific water feature and I will just be. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world or how busy things are, you can still find this place, which is kind of like your designated calm zone, where you just go and you get to be with no expectations. You just get to be. And so your calming action for today is to think about, where is that spot going to be for you? And then can you go there for 5 to 10 minutes today or tomorrow or every day, or maybe just a couple of times this week. Or maybe it's just going to help knowing that you've got that spot. Knowing that you've got that spot. And that's your place to go and recharge. The universe, Mother Nature, God, Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in, provides us, I believe, with amazing energy to recharge ourself, our soul, our being. We just need to tap into it. And I know that that sounds so easy, and the action itself is easy. The harder part is remembering that you have access to this, that you do. And hopefully, as you listen to this podcast and you listen over and over to this podcast, these habits will start to be more ingrained for you. Right? So let's end today the way that we've been ending all of our sessions, with our self-love action. And that is to start by putting your left hand over your heart, your right hand gently on top. Imagine hugging your heart, holding it gently. And I invite you to repeat these words after me as if you were talking to your 10-year-old self and hearing the words that you want to hear. Repeat after me, either out loud or silently in your head. And this is a great practice to do at your spot. By the way, I do this all the time. You are loved. You are safe. I've got you. I love you. Bye for now. Have a calm and wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.